It's red lights on.
Don't act like this is your first time.
Don't judge.
We don't have time for screwing around right now.
No, we don't.
Welcome, guys, to Corvette Tech Tuesday. We have a lot of emails for you guys. We'll get to them in just a moment. Chuck and I both have different ones to read for you guys, and hoping that it helps the people that sent these in, as well as others that are watching right now within the Corvette community. Real quick, just want to comment on my Autocross this past weekend that you guys watched. Thank you. And thanks for the feedback and the support. And a lot of you had this. I felt the same thing that you did when you saw it, and you said, Rick, you got this death grip on the steering wheel, dude. Loosen up a little bit. Ryan's so relaxed, and we got different driving styles, and I'm over concentrating, and I'm really trying to do well. And everyone's like, oh, Ryan beat you. It's like, wait a minute. How about some props for the old man?
Like the pink shirt.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just had to get that in.
I lost by 0.135 seconds, guys. If it was 3-4 seconds, I could see there's a big disparity. But I mean, the old man's right there with the kid. Give me a little. Okay, just wait till next time.
W's a W, an L's an L.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. A couple other quick things for you guys. Somebody had said, hey, Rick, and I know my buddy's a Corvette blogger, had talked about the new patent for Grand Sport coming, what we assume is for C8. And I think therein lies the problem, assuming that it's for C8. I think that's probably a C9. I'm not in the mood right now to talk about any more future, if come maybe, product, hence Z06. I mean, seriously, there's enough going on right now in the marketplace, guys, that we can keep you informed, we can keep you entertained, and you can have fun with the cars that Chevy is producing, the Stingray Corvette. Z06, I think we're going to get some information coming up real soon. As of today, I put it up on the Shorts channel. The 2023 Build Your Own tool is now live at Chevrolet.com, and that's a little bizarre to me too. That should have been up 3 weeks ago. Why? Man, I don't know. A little bit different format. If you've played around with that before, if you've waited a long time for your order, people go on the configurator and they're building all these different specs, Chucky, and they're like, oh, I like this color and I like this. It kind of passes the time over the months waiting for your car. It is a new format. Play with it a little bit. I think you're going to like it. I think they did a much better job on this one. And then one more thing to start before we get into the emails for Tech Tuesday. Here's a text I got. If you saw on my Shorts channel, I delivered my only caffeine C8 Corvette just recently. Michael waited such a long time for that car, and as soon as the video went up, he texted me and says, hey Rick, I just watched the video. That car is absolutely stunning. The car should be arriving sometime this morning. A couple hours later, he says, wow, what an awesome car. I'm getting compliments already, even from M3 owners and others. And then the very next morning, I get this from Michael, and I just, again, the stuff that we talk about and share in regards to this Corvette, this C8 Corvette, is to keep you guys encouraged, to get you excited about the ownership. Especially got a lot of new people coming to this car. Here's what he sent the next morning after getting the caffeine car. He says, Rick, I've had over the years many cars, but this one is the absolute pinnacle of perfection. I am so in love with the C8 already. Thank you so much for all of your effort, your kindness throughout the entire process, Michael. Michael, congratulations. You deserve it, sir. And yes, they are wonderful cars. There's enough doom and gloom in our world, let alone just our little corner of the world with Corvette. Let's focus on the good stuff, all right? So, like I said, some of the emails that he and I are going to read hopefully help these people as well as others. Some of them we actually were scratching our heads, but Chuck and I decided that we're going to share them with you anyway. So why don't you do 2 to start, because I've talked enough already. But okay, like I said, settle down, guys. We've got a lot to share with you today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll finish up with a beautiful ride segment.
This first one comes from Alan. It says, I have a 01 base Corvette that I've had for 4 years now. Since purchasing it, I've had updated radio, a few other items, wheels, seats, and such. I've been getting message on the indicator saying that I need to service my TPM sensors, tire pressure sensors. So I purchased new sensors for all 4 wheels. The mechanic could not get them to relearn. Then he tried to relearn the old sensors. They wouldn't relearn either. Now I have a message that says the tires are flat and the car's restricted to speed of 55 miles an hour or something like that. The mechanic recommended disconnecting the radio completely and trying to learn again. Any idea on how to fix this, or will unplugging the radio really fix it? Well, I know all the modules communicate through each other, so the aftermarket radio could be a problem. I mean, it still should learn, I would think. I mean, what's learning in that is actually the remote door lock receiver is what the signal sends from the tire sensors, go from the tire sensors to the remote door lock receiver. So I'd check to see if make sure you got communications with the remote door lock receiver, and if not, that's probably where I'd start.
But I think you're right.
Yeah,
probably has something to do with that aftermarket radio. So,
well, they have a communication line. This one talks to this one, talks to that one, talks to this one, talks to that one. So they all have to be communicating. So that's some of the problems you run into with the aftermarket stuff.
All right, so we got a C5 question today. I think we've got a couple C7s and some C8s. What else you got, bud?
Yeah, this comes from Jess. Says, I just viewed your C7 issue videos. Don't know how I missed it when you first posted it. My question is, could you or Chuck provide street-only alignment specs for my 2017 Grand Sport with a Z07? My provider says there's only factory specs for my car. My rear tires are wearing on the inside with only 14,000 miles on them. Yeah, when you look this up in SI, they only give you one spec, which is the factory specs. A lot of what I do here with the guys, especially when they put different tires on, if I see them wearing, I will take the camber and straighten it up some, set the toe more straight. That way you get more contact on the road with the tires. So that'd be the only suggestion I have, is take it and have the camber straightened up a little bit and the toe set out a little further.
Yeah, but he said he got a Z07 car there, is that right?
Yeah, a 2017 Z07.
Okay, and you got 14,000 miles.
Yeah.
Okay, get yourself a trophy. I mean,
Right.
There's a lot of miles on those tires, man.
Yeah.
And that's where they're going to wear, is on the inside.
Yep.
All right, here's one from Yemel. If I'm saying that correctly, I apologize. Says, Rick, longtime watcher, huge fan of the channel. Love the Tech Tuesday segment with you and Chuck. Let me ask you this question. So I take my 2016 C7 Corvette to state inspection. During the inspection, they told me the computer was not ready. The old OBD2, not ready.
Yep.
They looked at the fuel monitor, said I had to drive it for 50 miles. My car was sleeping all winter long before I went in, so it had no usage. Then he found the stuff online about the OBD2 drive cycle, how to heat it up and do these different things. Yeah, really drive it as long as you can on the freeway at freeway speeds. Get that thing hot for about an hour and then bring it in, and I think that'll help you. The regiment that they have you doing here is actually torture, but so just get it out there, get on it a little bit, get it hot and get it in there, and that should do the trick for you.
All right, this one comes from Richard. Says, love your channel, great info. Please ask Chuck, the C8 guru, the following question. I received my 2022 C8 after 11-month wait. Unfortunately, the car has an issue. At 150 miles, the car began to idle rough at stoplights. The rough idle is random, sometimes every 5 seconds, sometimes every 15 to 20 seconds. Almost feels like a punch in the back when it happens. When driving the car, everything seems normal. It only happens at idle. The check engine light's not on. I've taken the car out for a long drive to clear the carbon deposits off the spark plugs, but the issue's still present. The only dealer I would trust is 300 miles round trip. Any ideas? Any service bulletins? There is no service bulletins on these for a miss, other than when they was first coming off the truck, the carbon deposits, what you was talking about. They would have us sit in the car, run the RPMs up to 2,000 RPMs, and hold it constant for 10 minutes. That might be something you try. I don't know if they're still doing it or not. I know for a long time GM at long idles was canceling cylinders to get better fuel economy. So
right.
That might be what's going on. But I mean, if it had an actual misfire that was bad enough, yeah, the check engine light would come on and set a code, which you say the check engine light's not on. So yeah, I would probably just sit in the drive, get it warmed up, get it up to temperature, and then hold the RPMs up to 2,000 RPM steady for 10 minutes and see if that helps.
Now, he doesn't have a check engine light on, but
no.
Would there still be codes in history?
Could be.
Okay.
But I would assume the check engine light's never been on.
Right. Well, that's one thing you can do, is check with your dealership, have them run a scan on it, see if there's any codes. Hang on just a second.
We're back.
Oh, we're back. Oh, we're back already? That was good. VM voicemail. All right. Two quick ones for you here now. This is from Paul. It says, Rick, I ordered a C8 Corvette. Can I get the all black interior? And see, this is the whole premise of doing Tech Tuesday, to ask you product questions, troubleshoot issues, and also to help you use things and understand features on your Corvette. So thank you for sending these in. Okay, so anyways, Paul says, I ordered a C8 Corvette. My question is, can I get the all black interior with red stitching in the 2LT package with the GT2 seats? So this is a yes and no answer. In the 2LT, you can upgrade to the GT2 seats, but if you want all black interior and then a colored contrasting stitching, and by the way, let me just jump in here real quick. GM, where's the blue stitching? Had it in 19, you can't get a black interior with a blue stitching. What the heck is going on? So you have to go 3LT with an all black interior to get the red or the yellow stitching. Okay, so I mean, you can change the seat belts in all the packages 1, 2, and 3, but in this one, no, you have to go to 3 if you want black interior and a colored stitching. Another quick one real quick. You and I actually did some digging. This guy, you owe Chuck lunch on this one. He spent some time doing some research on it, and that's our commitment to provide these uploads. It's been a hectic day for he and I, almost to the point that we could have done this live and then I wouldn't be able to do a ride segment, but it's exciting for us and an honor for us that you're watching. You respond, you travel from Vermont or hours away to have your car serviced with Chuck. You travel all over the country and buy cars from me, so thank you for that. So this one says, Rick, I've watched a lot of your vlogs. They're very helpful. Thank you so much. I live in Cincinnati, so I'm not that far away from you. I've got a another 16, Z06, Z07 with about 15,000 miles. My question is, I've heard a lot about the triple transmission flush there on YouTube and your blogs. I don't know if I need one. I don't think it would hurt either to get it done. I've called my local dealership and they don't seem to know what I'm talking about. I bought the car used, not like you haven't heard that one before.
All right.
Bought the car used past summer and I don't have all the records. He gave us the VIN number and he says, Rick, I'm certainly gonna buy my next Corvette from you. Thank you for your time and rating this, Mark from Cincinnati. So here's the things that you discovered when you ran his VIN number, if you want to run that down real quick.
I had a torque converter put in it at 7,900 miles. The BCM has been replaced.
2 batteries.
2 batteries. Yeah.
Guys, I'm telling you what, on C7, if your car sits for 2 weeks or more, not started anything, and it's not plugged in, the battery is gonna go dead on you. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And when they put I checked, because we have the capability of looking, this was a warranty repair on the torque converter, we was able to see the fluid that they used, and yes, they did use the updated fluid at the time they put the torque converter in. So no, to answer your question, you should not need the transmission triple flush.
Okay.
But for all those out there that are wondering, what that is, if you put the car, come up on the driver information display and you can watch where it flips from V8 to V4 mode, and you're just driving along, and when it switches to V4 mode on light throttle, it almost feels like you're going over a rumble strip. The car just goes, and then if you give it a little bit of gas and it downshifts out of the torque converter and back into V8, it kind of smooths out. So that's how you know. If you feel like the car is going over a rumble strip at freeway speeds at light throttle, then it needs the triple flush. Yeah,
and this is stuff that is repetitive when we do Tech Tuesday, but as ownership lengthens on C7 Corvette, or like this guy, and you buy a used one,
right,
these are things that they're worth talking about again and again, so you have a very good ownership experience. So thanks for joining us on the channel. What do you got, bud?
All right, this one comes from Bruce. He says, I have a couple questions for you. The arrival of my C8 is several weeks away. I'm dying as I wait the questions come to mind. So here it goes. Back in the day with race engines, now builders would put 500 miles on the engine, then do a preventive oil change. I realize GM doesn't call for that, but would this be a worthwhile thing to do? What's your opinion? On the new C8, I mean, it's half a dozen one another. If you feel more comfortable doing the oil change, do the oil change. But when you take it in to have the oil change done, make sure they don't claim your first service. Tell them you just want the oil changed.
Right.
Because once that first service is claimed, you only get it once. So
yeah, the oil change should be a couple $100 or less, and then the first service for C8, you can watch your oil life depletion up within 2 years or up to 7,500 miles, because they're going to give you a DCT canister filter, top off your fluid, and the oil change that Chevy pays for. That's a little more involved service, more labor intensive. You don't need to do that right away, but some of us old school guys like to drop that oil right away, and you know, I'm guilty of it. I did it at 3,300, but I've been putting my car through the paces, launch control videos, autocrossing, and that kind of stuff, so it's a little bit different in that regard, but still good question.
Just a word to the wise on these C8s: have that first service done before 7,500.
Yes. Not
76 or 7,700. Have it done before the 70, right around or close to the 7,500 mark.
Okay.
All right, the other one is, he says, I want to change my Z51 tires to all-season tires. I've ordered a Z51 car. I need to have the alignment. The alignment settings for a Z51 are different from base Stingray. I doubt this car will ever see the track. Okay, like we was talking about just a few minutes ago on the other gentleman with the alignment question, if you're going to have tires put on Z51, any tires actually, and you're not going to track the car, what I like to do is take the camber, because the camber's set in like this. I straighten it out and I take the toe from this to a more straight on to help prevent the tires from wearing. So you don't have to have an alignment, but if you want a little better wear out of your tires, like I said, you can have the camber and the toe stretched out to where you'll get a little better wear.
Okay, but he's talking now, and I know Bruce. He's got the car ordered with us. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Bruce, for hanging in there. He's from Kentucky, so he's going to have a 5-mile car.
Okay.
Don't you advise waiting a certain amount of miles to even start messing around with that alignment?
Yeah. You don't want to do that. You need at least 500 miles or more on the car. That lets the suspension settle. So, yes.
All right, that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Here's one from Mark up in Wisconsin. Hey guys, Rick and Chuck, I got my Red Mist hardtop convertible back in July of 2021. My question, okay, this is a different one. My question is in reference to the odometer shortly after picking up my car at the National Corvette Museum. I've noticed the numbers on the odometer increasing at an accelerated rate. I dismissed this as normal. However, this year I noticed it even more. It appears to be more pronounced on warm and sunny days. Is there a way to replace or repair or reset the odometer back to the original factory settings to 0? I tried going into the information center and go to the original factory settings, and it doesn't seem to work. Sorry, we had a camera get hot and shut down on us, so we're back to the main camera so you can see us on both sides. So anyways, continuing Mark's email, he says, I mean, he can't. He's wanting to take the factory settings back to 0 on the odometer. That's illegal, bro. You can't be doing that. He tried to go into the information center on the car, go back to the original factory settings. That doesn't seem to work. Is there a way to work around this problem? He says, by the way, Rick, he goes, I love the ceramic coating on your car. It is a noticeable difference on the TV. The car really pops, and I love it on mine as well. So I actually know Mark personally, and I sent him a text and like, hey, dude, what's up with this email for Tech Tuesday? He sends back a bunch of laughing emojis. He goes, that's for getting me on the April Fool's Z06 Tier 4 thing. How's it feel, sucker? I go, okay, that's a good one. Uh-huh. This score's 1-1. I mean, keep those. Okay, you win for now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm coming back. All right, what do you got?
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
This one comes from Wade, and he's got 2 or 3 questions on this one, so we'll start.
Are we going to go to the program only 1 question per email, or?
We might have to.
Okay.
It says, my front lift is malfunctioning. Car's been in and out of the dealership attempting to correct it. I participated in a Silver State Classic Challenge. I picked up the car from the dealer. got on the road. Well, first of all, I don't know what's malfunctioning about your front lift, so I can't really answer that question.
Right.
I know they have a bulletin for possibly some trouble codes in there, and they want you to do a bleed on the system, but without knowing how it's malfunctioning, I can't really answer that.
Okay.
While participating in a race about 2 or 3 miles in at 100 mile an hour, my car would not accelerate. It would cut power and drop to 95, then accelerate to 102, cut power and repeat. My foot wasn't on the floor, but was accelerating hard at times. All attempts to accelerate were fruitless until the car dropped below 100. I noticed every time the car is in automatic, it would shift into 8th gear, it would cut power. I went to manual, dropped it into 5th gear, she ran like a bat out of hell, no more issues. I later found all my driving presets had been erased and was in touring mode, and every time I shut the car off, would go back to touring mode. Is there a governing speed limiting touring power mode while in 8th gear? It seems to be odd it shifted into 8th gear under hard acceleration, then pull power.
And we don't know how many miles he's got on that car.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do hard driving, track driving, you've got to be above 1,500 miles, guys. So we're assuming that he is on this scenario, and then still that leads you with even more questions yourself, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
I'd be checking some codes on that car.
Yeah. Not really, excuse me, really sure what's going on there.
You know, also too, having, software updates are important, doing those downloads, either yourselves in the car or with you when there's an update needed. Really important to have that done on the car. That one needs to go in and get checked out, man. All right, go ahead. What else you got, man?
All right, well, here's something we just covered. It comes from Greg. It says, I have a question for Tech Tip Tuesday. Y'all might cover this, I don't know. Both my old G19 Grand Sport and my current 18 Z06, both automatics, less than 20,000 miles, at highway speed, 70, 80 mile an hour. The trans kind of loses pull for a second, acts like a manual, then like the clutch is slipping. It revs for a split second, just a little RPM, not red line, then catches again. Wondering if this is the shutter y'all speak of. Very well could be.
Yeah.
Very well could be.
Absolutely. Yeah, get that checked out. Here's one from Steven. Just a quick comment, stuff that we've talked about on Tech Tuesday. An item that I did to my car when I put the Blue Attack air filter on, and people thought I was nuts. I can feel, even more so now, I can feel the difference in the responsiveness in the car, just a little bit quicker, just a little bit zippier. Steven says, Rick, I installed the Blue Attack air filter on my car, and I too can tell the difference. And what I noticed is that it increased the power, but in another way. The car builds up RPMs quicker because it doesn't have to work as hard drawing air through the less restrictive filter. The car even shifts stronger and quicker as a result. Thank you for the tip that you shared on your uploads. Yeah. Just little things like that really do make a difference. Yes, the Blue Attack air filter, link down below in the description from one of the people that I support, Paragon Performance, if you're looking to get that on your C8 Corvette. People were asking me too, my recent Autocross, they go, well, what mode were you in? Well, I don't have a Z51 car. I did go to track mode, and then I went to competitive driving mode. And I was driving, it was a hot day, I was driving with the air on. Oh, that's all you got, so?
Yeah, you know.
Whatever.
You got air, might as well.
What did you tell? You guys should hear what he was going to do. He's like, hey, you want to get serious about this racing? Nate and I were on eBay and found these 250-pound lead weights. He wanted to rip out the carpeting in the front of my car. And I'm like, that's not a bad idea. You know, for the low speed stuff, you know, when you're doing the parking lot stuff, to put 100 pounds in there, but you do have to go through tech, so that would probably get caught. But
it's only cheating if you get caught.
All right, what else you got there?
All right, I've got two that's basically the same question.
Okay.
They come from, looks like one's Steve and the other one's Mike, and it's an issue we've already talked about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
On the 2022 with the headlight problem coming on during the day when you're driving. I've looked once again from 2023, 22, 21, 20. GM still don't have anything on this problem. I personally haven't seen any of these problems come into the dealership.
Right.
So at this point in time, I really don't know.
Yeah. because we assumed before talking about one of those guys that
Possible
there was a shadow and, you know,
underpass.
Yeah, exactly. And those are all common sense things that could happen and have happened and will happen. But what you guys are talking about, now that we're looking at it and we're seeing a couple of more emails, somebody says, oh, maybe it's on cars built such and such, such and such. And if there was a span of certain VINs, there would have been some kind of a memo or something in SI, as he refers to, as service information.
Right.
And there hasn't been yet. So
that's my Bible. That's what I got to go by, service
SI.
Information.
Okay. All right, a couple last two real quick to wrap up today. Told you we had a bunch. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Quick one from Nancy and Jerry. Says, I got a 22 C8 standard coupe. When I put it in manual mode and accelerate through the gears, I hear a little extra backfire in the exhaust. Is this normal? Yes, in fact it is. And you'll notice it too if like you're in sport.
I was watching it count down.
Oh, you freaked me out for a second. It's all good. It's all good. The car shuts down after it idles for so long. Anyways, if you're in sport or track mode and you're on the highway and you go to get off an exit and you can hear the car going, bump, 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 it just kind of decelerates and kind of shifts by like a manual. And it's like, yeah, baby, welcome to DCT. It feels good. So yeah, it's perfectly normal, guys. Absolutely. And one more real quick for you guys. Rick, I watch both the channels. Most of the time, they're informative. We got to break it up and have fun too, man. But thank you for joining us. We like it when you update us on the GM news. I do have a question. I had a 22 C8 ordered with the dealership, and because of allocation situations, I was pushed to 2023. Now, of course, there is a price increase for 2023. Will GM credit the dealership and then that's passed to me, or how does that work? Your insight is greatly appreciated. This is Bernie from the Villages in Florida. That's actually a good question because that's the time that we're in right now. I'm still digging through my lists. I'm sorry, it's getting kind of hot in here, isn't it? Fire it back up. Yeah, so I'm still digging through my list, trying to transfer those that want to continue on with us through the craziness, and I really do appreciate that. But there is no price protect from model year to model year. When you transfer over, didn't get a 22, go to 23, you really start all over. You start all over with your dealer. It's up to them to put you back into the system and for you to figure out where you are in position as far as possible order placement with allocations. Speaking of which, don't forget Thursday, right here on this channel, we are going to have a conversation in regards to the first distribution report I get for June allocations, any possible constraint information, detailed constraint information I won't have until the following Thursday. Tomorrow on this channel, it'll be a dual upload. I'm going to upload the same video on the Shorts channel for that new audience, and then for our main family here on this channel, a send-off Pat featuring a really nice guy from South Carolina, and he bought probably, at least for our store and for my orders, one of the rarest options to date, and I can count on one hand how many were ordered in 2022. Also too, we started today's show letting you know the 23 builder is online. Not yet gotten the production data from Corvette Museum, and I want to do that. I'm getting all my data ready from my customers, and I want to do that comparison from the national orders and what my customers ordered, and I want to see how close Red Mist gets from taking out Torch Red as the #1 color ordered with us. Last year, it was 24% of our customers ordered Torch Red, and 22% were Red Mist. That Red Mist is gorgeous. So a lot of neat stuff coming on the show. And one more quick reminder before we get into some good looking cars, I'll be live on our Sunday Coffee with Conti, which is easier for me because I don't have to stay up in the middle of the night to edit. Join us at Roscoe Village in Coshocton. We're gonna have some giveaways. We're gonna be selling some merch on scene, and just having a great time showing off some amazing cars. And that's how we want to finish today, showing off your beautiful rides. Before you go though, don't forget, watch all these great looking cars, but subscribe to this channel. That support really means a lot. I've got a lot of plans, a lot of goals, and I can't do them without you. So please subscribe, thumbs up the video. You guys do that all the time, and make those comments down below, which you do all the time. It's always nice to hear from you. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. I was too young and I didn't understand.
understand that you are no one, and I can't wait to see you hindsight is fleeting when your heart's bleeding and all you can see is red, till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead, 'cause I was too young and I didn't understand that you are the one, and I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait, 'cause I was too young and I didn't understand that